you can do that. If you didn't get a chance to guess, now you can guess after this is over.
Second thoughts now.
We have three people presenting today. First block was just amazing. It was probably one of my favorite days. So I hope you enjoyed as much as first block did. We're going to start off with Tracy James. So TJ, take it away.
Alright, so this jar that I have up here, I do one of these every week. Every Thursday I have a jar out. Kids know, they come in, they do their warm up, and then they put their guess in. And then on Friday I'll tell them what was in there and who won. So I have a winner from each one of my classes. That's just something we did last summer at the Institute. The instructor had one of those out every day. And it was just kind of cool, and the kids expect it.
What did they win?
A box of candy.
Oh, nice. I didn't know if you gave them all the money.
They had all the goodies. Because I had the jar of quarters, and they're like, "Can I get that?" I'm like, "No." That's like $100, no. But it's fun. And if I forget, I have forgotten before, and they'll come in on Thursday, like, "Where's the jar?" I'm like, "I'll bring it tomorrow. I forgot." But it's all good. On your desk is a list. You're welcome to take a sheet. I can email it out to people if you want to. But these are just some of the brain breaks that I do in class, some that we did at the Institute last summer. I'm just going to go through them really quickly. If you have any questions or want to use one and you're not really sure how it works, you can just let me know. I'll be happy to go through it with you. The first one is 6 spots. I hang 1 through 6 in my room, just random places in my room. Well, first of all, what's a brain break? Brain break, if you are going through your lesson and you notice that your kids are like glazed over and they're not really paying attention anymore, it's time for brain break. You want to get them up and moving to get them not thinking about whatever you were working on and get their blood moving, and then you can sit back down after 2 or 3 minutes and get back to what you were doing. So the first one I have on here, 6 spots. If you put your numbers 1 through 6 around the room and you tell everybody, okay, just get up and go stand next to one of your numbers, then you take a die, you roll a die, and whatever number it lands on, if you're standing at that number, you have to sit down. And then you do that until you have 1 person or 3 people or however many left. I only do brain breaks for 2 or 3 minutes. If it's been a really long day, maybe 5 minutes, but nothing longer than that. It's supposed to be something quick to get them up moving, and then they can sit down and refocus. Simon Says. Everybody knows how to play Simon Says, I assume. I hope. You think it's something you do with your kindergartner or your first grader, but the kids really love it. And I tell them to stand up, we're going to play Simon Says, and they're like, "Oh, can I be Simon?" I generally don't let the students be Simon, at least at first, because you never know what they're going to say. So once you get to know your students, you can let other people do it. And it's important that you do it fast when you're doing Simon Says, because you get up there and you run out of things to say, and then they're just waiting. So they're waiting for you to say Simon, and they know it. But you do it until you've got 1 person left or a couple people left. My favorite one is to do, the last one I say is, Simon Says sit down, and everybody sits down, and then I'm like, okay, and we're ready to start. And they're like, oh, that's no fair. But it's all good. Tossing digits, it's it's like rock, paper, scissors. You put students in groups of 3 to 5, and instead of throwing a rock, paper, scissors, you're going to throw a number. So a fist, closed fist is a 0. You can throw a 1, a 2, a 3, a 4, or 5. And the teacher has to tell them what number they want to add up to. All their fingers have to add up to a certain number. So if I say, okay, your group of 5, I want your digits to add up to 17. So you do, and everybody throws a number, and then they count their numbers. If they have 17, then they get it 1 time. If they continue going, and see how many times they can get 17. There's a couple of rules, though. You can't throw the same number twice in a row. So if I throw a 2 the first time, I can't throw a 2 the next time. I have to throw something different, but then I can throw a 2. And they can't talk to each other, so they can't strategize. It just has to be a random thing. 10 count. I put kids in groups of 7 or 8. You can do more than that if you want to, or fewer. And the goal is for the group to count up to 10 consecutively, which sounds pretty easy, but there's a couple rules. You got to keep your head down, keep your hands behind your back. You can't talk to anybody in your group. 1 person starts with 1, and if I say 1, the 2 people next to me can't say number 2. It has to be somebody else in the group. And if 2 people speak at the same time, then you have to start all over again. So it usually takes them a few times before they can get up to 10, but it's kind of fun. Line up, you can ask the students to get in a line based on certain criteria, so based on height, based on your birth date. And I think it's fun to do it by telling them, don't talk. You have to do it without talking to each other. That just makes it a little bit harder. On the back, number 6 is mystery student. That's the one that Ms. Winchester showed us. So that's one that you can do. It's something, you can do it, once a week, the whole semester, and you kind of get to know a little bit more about your students. Number 7, would you rather? There's a couple of questions I put down here, but you can come up with any questions. You ask an either or question, and the students have to decide which side they want to be on. So the first one is just, would you rather be a famous actor or discover the cure for cancer? So students go to one side of the room or the other based on what their choice is, and then you ask a couple of kids, well, why did you choose that? Why do you want to be an actor as opposed to curing cancer? And then human knot. I haven't done human knot with my classes this year. I have done it with a group before, and I think it's a lot of fun, but I think you have to be careful with the students that you do it with, because basically you're asking everyone to grab right hands and then grab left hands, so everybody's kind of knotted up, and your goal is to unknot yourself and form a circle. But some students you probably don't want to do that with. So, anyway, that's kind of the short and sweet of it. If you have questions, I'll be happy to answer them. And if you Google brain breaks, there's a ton of brain breaks online. There's a lot of different things that we do.
Good job. Yeah, I think we've mentioned this before, that the research says your attention span is closely correlated with their age. So I love brain breaks, because about every 15 or 20 minutes it'd be good if you changed your strategy or did something different. Okay, next up we have Joy Fisher, and Joy's gonna do Relay for Life and her strategy. So Joy Fisher.
Oh, my last groups was so much smaller. I was a little less nervous, and now my stomach is really turning. First of all, Relay for Life, I thought while I had a captive audience today, I'd let everybody know where we stand. We have a total of about a little over $4,000 raised at this point. I forgot to tell First Block, our goal is $6,000. We raised $5,898 last year. And so, of course, I want to try to beat that if I can. I sent a couple of emails, and I hope you've had time to look at them. One of them is about the t-shirt that we'll be ordering, and there's some purple forms on the table if you're interested in buying a spot on the back. And if you're new, we have a shirt every year, because we have so many children come out, or students, come out to do Relay for hours, that I have to have instead of buying the Relay shirt, we have a West Side shirt, because I have to be able to recognize those students on that track, and plus it looks good when everybody looks and sees there's so many of our students, because we really do have a lot of people come and buy shirts and just come to Relay that don't even need the hours. We will be having CCR, Avid students, Beta Club, and National Honor Society. Those are the students that I'm going to be responsible for, because we are at a new venue. We're going to be at MMed Health Campus, and it's on May the 20th from 2 to 11. And I have in the past just let students sign up, but I'm not going to be able to do that this year, because I've got to get a feel for this venue and how I'm going to be able to manage the students. So those are the groups that I'm going to be responsible for. Now, that doesn't mean that they can't come, but they're just going to have to come with an adult and somebody else be in charge of them and not us. The other email that I sent for Relay was about a loose change challenge, and you'll get an envelope on Monday that we're gonna have a challenge among First Block teachers. And I do hope you'll look at it. We've got some really good prizes. First prize for the top winning class is, or the one who raises most, is a box of paper for the teacher and biscuits for the class. And second prize is 5 reams of paper for the teacher and donuts for the class. And third prize is a $10 gift certificate from Books A Million and candy for the class. So we have really good prizes, and I'm hoping that we'll have a lot of people participate. I appreciate all that you do. It is amazing to me just how much we come out and we support. Of course, this year, we'll have 3 spots already taken on our shirt because we will put down Miss Applewhite, Miss Simmons, and Mr. McQueen. I've got to double check with him to make sure that he understood what I was talking about when I asked him, because I don't want anybody on the shirt that would not want to be on it. But if you have any questions about that, of course, contact me, send me an email, I'll drop by your room, or come see me, and I'll get it explained to you. My favorite strategy that I've learned about, I had used one time before we went, and I thought I had just kind of massacred it. I always wanted to go to the Advent conference, but as I told First Block, I was not a core teacher. When I got the opportunity, I was so thankful to go. And besides, it's kind of it was the worst trip of my life, if y'all really want to know. If you're new and don't know, I hurt my knee, ended up having surgery in December. But with all that being said, it was the greatest experience I think I've had at a conference. I hobbled to those conferences, and that's what saved my trip. It was just amazing, and I learned so much. And one thing, I just got free after I left, because I'm a rule follower, and if the paper says that you've got to do this, this, and this, then I think that's how you have to do it. And I saw so many variations and adaptations of the one-pager, and I loved it, and I realized that I could use it with just about anything. And having college and career readiness, I've used it a lot because the students really enjoy it. On your desk, you've got instructions. One of them says creating a one-pager, and that's front and back, and that's for the teacher. And the other is a handout for students if you want to copy it and use it. And if it didn't copy well, I can even send you a link to it. But you've also got examples. I think they're up under the cup. You've got examples from To Kill a Mockingbird, if you want to look at those. And that's from Miss Metz's English class. Those are an English variation. And then the others are what I used with my college and career readiness class. They have the English version. You have you do a reading. And of course, To Kill a Mockingbird is a classic, and you take an excerpt from the book, and or 2 excerpts. You have to have 3 illustrations and Costas level questions, and on the rubric, Miss Metz even makes sure that her children know you ask 2 questions that are high level and answer them. The pictures have to be symbolic and related to whatever it is that you've read. I took it with my college and career readiness class, and they researched what career they were most interested in. Then they created a one-pager for me and for the class, because we, of course, did a gallery walk, and they put the requirements that they would need to have to do their job, whatever career they had chosen, what degree they would need, what potential or who potential employers might be, and then their illustrations of technology or something that they would use, something that illustrated that profession. I like using it. The students like using it. I don't care how old you are, you still like to create and color. And this kind of frees them up to show their creativity. And it works for your lowest student that, bless their hearts, they just don't know what they're going to do, up to your highest functioning students. And it gives them, it kind of puts them on an equal playing field, I think, gives them an opportunity. So that was mine, and I enjoyed it. And if y'all have any questions about Relay or one-pagers, let me know, because I'm kind of getting to be an expert on them. We do them a lot.
Good job.